Please do not define yourself as an orthodontist. My children know that if anybody comes up to them and says, you know, your dad, he was an amazing orthodontist, then I failed at my life mission. Because I want to leave this world a far better place than I started. And let's be honest, orthodontics is my job. It's not who I am. I go to work. I love on every patient. I want to do the best work I can, but it is transactional. I don't go to do ortho for free. They paid you, you did a service, everybody wins. And that's where the line should be drawn. Hello there, Orthopreneurs. Today, I'm just going to piss everybody off. I love doing that. Or I'll open your eyes, or we'll give you a little bit of a shift. Why? Because every morning when I wake up, I'm living my best life. I'm not saying that to make you feel good or feel bad. I'm just telling you, I hope that every one of you in your life at some point lives the kind of life feeling that I have, where I'm happy, my family, thank God, as well. I feel purpose in life. I'm doing my A+ work, which is connecting orthodontists to their best success. I'm living a great life, knock on wood, right? This is where you hope the bad things don't kick in. And my point in all of this is, it's not accidental. I've engineered my life to do the things that bring me the most fulfillment and joy. And I want to talk about a couple of things to help you. Number one, I want you to think about a proof box that I can't draw on the screen, but it's a 4-box, you know, kind of like we learned in Mendelian genetics, right? I want you to think of this four-box matrix where the upper left-hand corner are things that you're good at and you love doing. The lower left box are things that you're good at but you don't enjoy doing. The upper right box are things that you enjoy doing but you're not good at. And the lower right box are things you're not good at and you don't enjoy. We don't even talk about the lower right box. You shouldn't be there. You shouldn't be living in it. And the upper right box, right? The things that you enjoy but you're not good at, and the things that you're good at but you don't enjoy on the lower left, those are boxes we're going to talk about in a moment. Your upper left box are things you're good at and things you enjoy. That's where you need to be living your life. That is exactly where you need to live your life all the time. But you're going to say to me, Glenn, I can't. I don't have the ability to live in that box all the time. You can live in that box 90% of the time happily if you learn how to delegate effectively, how to do things. For instance, the upper right box, the things that you love but you're not good at. Let's say it's painting, pickleball, for me, jiu-jitsu, right? Something you train to get better at. You can work at it and get better at it and eventually move from the upper right box to the upper left box. Something you're good at and something that you enjoy, right? But that's one box. If you love it and you're bad at it, that's an easy one, right? Just work at it. It could be running your practice. I love running my practice, but I'm not very good at it. Well, put your time in, take your courses, go to Summit, do all the stuff you need to do, you know, to get better at that. It's that lower left box where most of you get stuck. Now, the lower right box, things you're not good at and things that you hate doing, I mean, you get out of those naturally, right? How many people do things they suck at and they don't like, other than when you're forced to do it, right? Like changing a diaper. I was never good at changing a diaper, and I didn't really enjoy changing a diaper, but you got to change a diaper. That's just the name. Those are things you have to do, but there's many other things that you're not good at that you don't enjoy that you got to get out of. The things that you don't enjoy but you're good at, let's do some examples of them. You could say you're really good at tying in wires, right? There's an example. You love tying in wires, right? You're good at it. You're good at tying wires, but you don't enjoy it. So that's why you have an assistant. You let your assistants do those things. Maybe it's doing your QuickBooks. Maybe you're really good at accounting, but you don't enjoy it. Maybe it's paying bills, right? You're good at it, but you don't enjoy it. Maybe it's doing tons of clean checks. Maybe you're good at it, but you don't enjoy it. You get the point. Those are the things you have to delegate. Now, there are certain things I just mentioned you can't delegate. Well, not really. Could you train with enough time, energy, and effort a good clinical assistant to handle, your first 4 clean checks so that you look at it and go, this looks perfect, I'm going to approve it? You absolutely could. How do you know? Because we did it in the past, and I know many other people who've done it. So you need to be living in the upper left-hand corner box, the things you're good at and you enjoy. You're going to have to do some things you don't enjoy that you're good at, and you're going to have to do some things that you don't enjoy that you're not good at, but the goal is to start making those things smaller and smaller and smaller. Now, the second thing that's really important in making your life the best life you can is obviously living in the cross of life, right? There's 4 corners to the cross of life, and you have to balance them, right? Things from your social life to your religion or belief in self, right? Your work life, your health and fitness. Like you got to balance these things. There are times you'll get out of balance, like when I had my twins. There's no way I'm going to be able to work out at the same rate and take care of myself or be around my friends or be as engaged at work as I was when I didn't have the twins. But that goes away after time, right? For the first month, 2 months, 4 months, you've got to be 100% all in on that. But then you can start working and life gets back to normal and you just accommodate with what you've got. So you've got to balance that, what they call the cross of life. If you get too out of balance, as Vince Kokich, the late great orthodontist, who was a friend of mine, told me, like a paper airplane, when one corner of the airplane gets out of balance, it crashes. And that's why so many of you feel so stressed out, because you're not working in the upper left-hand box and you're not balancing your life. Now, if you're going to sit here and tell me I got small kids, so my life is out of balance, excuse me, maybe they'll beep this out, but I'm going to say bullshit, okay? I had 3 kids, building a practice, and I know what it's like. You can make excuses or you can get results. Is life more difficult? Absolutely. Have many parents work their lives out so they were effective and happy? Absolutely. You can do it too, so stop making excuses. Now, if you're a single parent with 3 children under the age of 6, I get it, all right? You have no nanny care, you can't afford it, whatever the case may be. But for every one of you out there who says, I can't make it go, I can introduce you to somebody at Summit who is making it a go. Not because they're at Summit, but because you'll be at Summit and they're at Summit, and I can make the introduction to the 2 people so you can chat with them. So the last thing I'm going to say about this whole topic about fulfillment and happiness, and this could literally be a full day lecture. Oh, oddly, I just gave this lecture at my alma mater, Nova Southeastern, a little while ago. I give a full day on how to live your best life. And the last thing I'm going to throw out there right now, and I'm begging you, okay? This is a demographic shift in the last 15 to 20 years. Just like every parent today who's a millennial parent, the studies are clear, you're spending more time with your children than any generation before you, and yet you believe you're spending too little time with your children. This is statistics. It's been done. Mental health counselors are worried for millennial parents and for the kids, because when they get to college, the parents are going to have no life left because all they've done is for their kids. And the kids don't have their parents around, and there's questions about how capable they're going to be able to do without mom and dad holding their hand and being at every single event. But that's another story altogether. What I want to get to when it comes to living your best life is please do not define yourself as an orthodontist. Please. Okay, that's the demographic shift in the last 15 to 20 years. You go to the doctors who are 70, 75 years old, with few exceptions, they are the best orthodontist. They're an orthodontist. They're hanging on. They're 70, 75 years old. You know, at their funeral, hopefully down the road, people can say what a great orthodontist they were. My children know that if anybody comes up to them and says, you know, your dad, he was an amazing orthodontist, then I failed at my life mission. Because I want to leave this world a far better place than I started. And let's be honest, orthodontics is my job. It's not who I am. I go to work. I love on every patient. I want to do the best work I can, but it is transactional. I don't go to do ortho for free. I don't show up and say, I'm going to do this to change the world. None of you do. You enjoy doing it. You feel you are changing the world, but it is transactional. They paid you. You did a service. Everybody wins. And that's where the line should be drawn, because you should hopefully retire at a younger age. That's my mission with Orthopreneurs, is to help orthodontists get financially stable at a younger age so they can leave orthodontics and go enjoy their life. If you want to do ortho a day or 2 or 3 a week, that's amazing. But there are so many other things you can do that will bring you way more fulfillment. You've just bought into the brainwashing that orthodontics is the one that it has to be. You enjoy your job, and if you're making tons of money at it and you want to keep doing it, that's great. But make sure you pass the test, that when that day comes, many years from now, hopefully, for each and every one of you, that there's a wooden box at the front of the room that you're in, and you're surrounded by family and loved ones. And don't buy into that bullshit, excuse me again, that the number of people at your funeral is how important you were. You can make a difference in a very small handful of people and change the world, okay? There's an old saying in Judaism, he who saves a life saves the universe. All right? The key is make an impact in people's lives outside of just doing ortho. Because at the end of the day, at my funeral, I want people to come up to my kids and say to them, even if it's 2 people, your dad changed my life. not because I straightened their teeth and they paid me for it, but your dad changed my life because of X or Y. Or when I was down, he was there for me. Or I would never have been able to retire had your father not helped me along. Or he gave me a hand when nobody else would, right? Those are the things that really matter in life. So again, you may disagree, and that's okay. But when I see those doctors who are 75, 80 years old, 85 years old, and all people can say about them is what a great orthodontist they were. What a great orthodontist they were. To me, that's a failure. Now, you can say they were a great orthodontist and in the same breath say amazing things about their life. They were X, Y, Z, A, B, C. Oh, and by the way, also, right, one of the greatest orthodontists. That I don't mind, but don't be defined as an orthodontist, right? A great example of this, think of Vince Kokich, who I mentioned earlier. You can say a lot of things about Vince Kokich, right? He happened to have been a great orthodontist. He was a great asset to orthodontics, but he was a whole lot more than that if you ever spent any real time with him. So again, I hope you take this message with the spirit in which it's intended, which is love for each and every one of you, and to make sure you live your best lives. And on that note, I hope to see you at Summit 2025 in Vegas. It's going to be the best summit we've ever had, guaranteed personally by me, right? I'll give you every penny back and your hotel fees and your airfare if it's not the best meeting you've ever been to after day one. But go to opsummit2025.com. It is the meeting that's going to change your life. Much love to each and every one of you. Hope to see you there, and have a great day.